Hey, good morning, Fisherman Barry here. I'm up at Lake Don Pedro. That's my first fishing trip in a few weeks. I've been on a road trip. Went out to visit my son in New Mexico. That is the 120 bridge. That's the 120 highway right there. Water levels come down about 20 feet since the last time I was here. All the ramps are still open, but they're projecting Blue Oaks will close by the end of the month. I don't know about the other two. I think Moccasin stays open for a long time because they have an old road you can use for a while. Well, the bad news is that my rear mounted camera, I couldn't get it to start. Every time I set it up and pressed record, it would shut down. Battery's charged, the memory chip's in it, so it's getting old. It's about 7 or 8 years old, so it might just be reaching its end of life, who knows. But I do have the hat mounted one, and I've picked up 6. I've only grabbed the hat and turned the camera on once to show one of them. We'll see if I pick up any more on the way back. I just turned around. Woods Creek is behind me. Moccasin Creek is that way a few miles. So I'm going to fish my way back, but get out of here by about noon or 1. It's going to be another 100-degree plus day today, so I don't want to be on here in the middle of the afternoon. And tried a jig today. It has been really hot here. It was 106 yesterday. I was going to come yesterday, but I pulled the plug on it when I saw the weather said 106. It's only going to be 100 today. So, but I tried the jig, went down deep with that, tried the little swim bait, picked up 1 on that, and picked up 5 on the spinner bait. Now that the wind has picked back up, I switched back to the spinner bait because it puts out a lot of flash and vibration, and with the choppy water, makes it harder for the fish to tell that it's not a real little school of fish. So the bite's usually better. When it turns really glassy, that's when I usually stop using the spinner bait and switch to something like maybe a deeper crankbait or the little paddle tail. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, Fisherman Barry here. Well, I'm up at Lake Don Pedro. It's Thursday, September 9th, and my rear camera, I just couldn't get it to run. Just kept shutting down right after I started it. So this is my second fish of the day. Pretty nice one, solid fish. Using the spinner bait for reaction bite. It's going to be close to 100, so I'll switch to something deeper, cooler, or slower, sorry, later on. Anyway, I just brought out my other camera for a minute just to get a little video of the fish for my records. Well, Fisherman Barry here. Haven't caught any more. Picked up 6 total today, so not a bad day, and they were all 1.5 to 2 pounds, so decent fish, no little ones. Only one of them on video, and I'll post that. Like I said earlier, my main back mounted camera just keeps shutting down every time I press the record button, so I don't know what's going on there. But I wanted to show you what Moccasin Creek looks like. This is normally filled with houseboats. They've all been taken down closer to the dam area where the water's a lot deeper. The marina's here, but it's closed, and it looks like there's maybe 3 or 4 boats still tied up to it. Eventually they will pull it down too and park it near Fleming Meadows. At least that's what they did in the 2015 drought that we had. But you can see it's getting really low. The boat launch is on the other side of that hill there. And it's still open. I don't know for how long though. Eventually, when the launch is out of the water, they will close it. But there is a road that hooks off to the left. As you come down the launch ramp, there's a road that hooks off to the left, and you can still launch boats on that road for a while. And then of course eventually if it gets low enough that they'll close that too. In 2015, when we had a really bad drought, they closed all of that except to hand launching of kayaks. So I was able to put the wheels on my kayak and roll it down, still get in the water here. So worked out for me. Eventually it got too low for that, even though, because it was just the road turned to mud and I couldn't get down that. Anyway, I'm done for the day. 6 fish. You can see the wind's picking up here. It's been to my back most of the time, but now it's against me for the last few hundred yards.